foremost, as we get started, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank James Smith to be able to do this for the second time, thanks to the slow download speed of iMovie. But can't get enough of Pitch and Crackle, so off we go with round two. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to present today. It's an exciting time in the world of Sony as we continue to expand what we do with content development and distribution. And many of you have known of me in my days from ESPN or our entire sales staff from Disney, Hulu, Microsoft, running the gamut and what we're trying to do here. And it's truly an innovative time to be at Sony. We're all very excited to be here, and it all starts off with Crackle, the new network for the new living room. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it off and get into the presentation and talk about how we're leveraging all the various divisions and power of Sony to bring fresh new perspective to the ongoing growth of video content. So One Sony. Sony Pictures Television, and specifically Crackle, is on the verge of leveraging Sony's best-in-class content. You know us, whether you realize it or not. Shows like Breaking Bad, Community, Justified, The Shark Tank, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, list goes on and on. Sony Music, 17 various labels underneath the platform of Sony Music with Shakira, Ricky Martin, Beyonce, Jay-Z, the list kind of goes on, and all genres of music, rap, country, hip-hop, so forth. Sony Pictures Entertainment, you know us, Spider-Man, James Bond, the Smurfs, list goes on, and then of course Sony PlayStation, where we've been making a ton of headlines for our PS4, which is breaking new ground in gaming and entertainment. Sony, massive global organization. 159 countries around the world, as you can see, over 130 feeds in 22 languages, 184 million homes served. Crackle is serving as the network in the United States. And there's a great story there about our executives and the intent to frankly start or buy a cable network in the United States. The investment bankers were in the house, the consultants were evaluating the process, and then the realization hit that the television landscape is a flat to declining market. So we took advantage, and we're creating a new network, one of digital video origins, and one that's unlike anything else that's currently out there, and I look forward to telling you about it today. It all comes from a place where there's a new network, a new living room, and a case study and research that we've done to diagnose exactly how consumers, and specifically young people, are engaging with content. To better understand it, we commissioned a third-party study to dig deeper into consumer behaviors and their various viewing habits. A little tease. Video plays. Really what it's about is this ongoing trend, the new household penetration. Did you realize that 96% of households in the United States have the ability to stream content on a connected TV in their house? Just like this, the big screen, streaming TV on the big screen. It's a huge opportunity that we're looking to take advantage of. And how they're using the streaming, 54% are using it on the big screen. 44% still streaming on the computer, and a growing number are using their tablet and their mobile phone, 19 and 15% respectively. Obviously, streaming numbers continue to grow each and every quarter, each and every year. It's this trend that we plan on taking advantage of, and frankly, we already are. And it's all based on the consumer. And so this is an incredible slide, one worth taking a couple of minutes to review. In our existence today, there are 120 million households, as Nielsen describes them. Yet 20%, you may or may not realize, have no access to cable. They're still on this old broadcast. You got two segments of that population. You got the old folk, who probably are only watching ABC News and still thinking Dan Rather's around. And then you've got the young people, the ones coming out of college over the course of the last 5 or 6 years that frankly see no need for cable whatsoever. So when we surveyed them and we talked about what trends are you thinking are coming in the next 6 months, would you believe that 52% of them are considering moving away from cable altogether? Now these are people that are cord nevers, that are never going to get cable. They come out of college and they simply don't need it. They're cord cutters, they're cord shavers who are trying to decrease how much TV they're using. Any way you cut it, it's 52% people are considering moving away from traditional cable. It's this insight that Crackle is taking advantage of. Another insight that's interesting. One would think that the cable and traditional television is the number one option when they come home at night. They turn on the TV, they kick their feet up. It's still TV and cable, and you know what? You're right. But intuitively, you might think that DVR is number two. In fact, it's not. The second consideration each evening is actually streaming, whether that's Crackle, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, or the other opportunities that are out there in the marketplace that have continued to pave the way in the new living room. That's moved up to the second consideration. When will it be number one? Time will tell. We're hoping sooner than later. But as much as the living room is changing, some things continue to be the same. Family movies are family movies. Family comedy continues to be family comedy. Great content is universal. Content that you want to watch with your friends and family. So there's certainly still co-viewing, and most of that, of course, has been done on the big screen. And if 50% plus is viewing content on the big screen, you can be sure that mom, dad, husband, wife, brother, sister, and friends are coming over to enjoy great content. What you'd be surprised to know is that ad-supported streaming isn't taking a back seat. The average cable bill is now over $150 a month, so if there are opportunities to stream great content without having to pay $150 a month, they're doing so, and advertising is completely acceptable. On any screen, great content, low prices, content's going to win, even when advertising is supporting it. And that leads directly into what we're trying to do on Crackle. With over 30 million monthly uniques, 90% plus ad completion rate, and 96 minutes per user, we are absolutely penetrating the marketplace on both consumers and marketers alike. We're being bought on across the board. And what makes us special? It's worth looking at the ecosystem that we play in. From short form to long form, from low reach to high reach, we're right in the middle of this landscape of fantastic content. Many of these folks have broken the way for what we're doing, like Hulu and HBO Go and Netflix. But what makes us unique is that we are the only free, ad-supported, content-driven, curated network. We're the only ones that produce over 90% ad completion rate and 90 minutes plus per user. With those assets in mind, with those specific drivers, we have no competition. Again, free, 93% plus ad completion rate, 90 minutes per user, and available on any platform. Crackle stands alone. And with that, it's worth talking about our competitive positioning. When you start talking about unique viewers and reach and engagement, frankly, Crackle is competitive with anybody in the marketplace, from broadcast networks to other streamers and to huge players like ESPN, Fox, and NBC. We're in that conversation now, and we're only growing. Will be even a greater conversation as far as reach and engagement as the days go on. So where can you get Crackle? Our distribution, frankly, is unparalleled. If you can get an internet signal, you can access Crackle. A powerful proposition any way you look at it, and we continue to grow and look for new areas to be distributed. You can count on us being on Google Chromecast and Amazon later this year, and we're recently been put on Apple TV. Again, an opportunity for us to continue growing our scale. Crackle's programming. Again, we differentiate ourselves by being a curated network. We behave very much like a traditional cable network. We program to a slightly skewed male audience. We're always talking to the millennials, that 18 to 34, but a lot of our content drives beyond that. So we can fit audiences of all shapes and sizes. We do original content, we do television shows, and we do movies. All long-form premium content. The Crackle audience. It fits very much a traditional cable audience, a male-skewed cable audience, and then anybody that's streaming. You're looking at people that might be 55 to 60% male. You're looking at a median age or in the low 30s, upper 20s, a fairly affluent audience. 30% or so might be married. But the key factor here is that you're talking about tech-savvy influencers. Those are the folks that are trying new technology on new devices. They want to know what's in the know, where the cool content is, and they're coming to Crackle first. With that, I thought I'd show you a quick sizzle reel. All right, so we're all here because you're advertisers. How are you getting your message out to the marketplace in a compelling way? And the fact of the matter is, Crackle's on board to do things a little bit differently. A lot of us came from these massive organizations which, frankly, are a little bit difficult to work for and work with. On the media perception side of this stage, we can do virtually anything, from interactive ad units to splash pages to high-resolution banners, takeovers. We're on board for anything. We can do various sponsorships, and then we can integrate your content and your products into our original programming. A little more detail. Interactive ad units. You can see here the example that we've got up is Nissan. Literally, a Nissan car can drive across your 30-second ad unit and can engage with consumers to click in for more content. That could be for Nissan, where to find an auto dealer. It could be where to find video to interact with a new Nissan Rogue. It can be an image gallery of all the different colors that you could potentially choose from. Our imagination is the limitation here. For interactive ad units, we can do anything. On mobile, you name it, splash pages, whatever dynamic opportunities within a mobile ad unit that you'd like to pursue, we're all open. We want to do creative things. The better the content, the better the advertising, the better the experience for our consumers. Let's tackle any challenges together. And just going back to that that ad unit, the C role, where Nissan could engage with your consumers closely, it's worth noting the engagement is off the charts. We did one with FedEx recently, which is our example here. You could engage within the unit to find FedEx locations. High engagement, high completion rate, 300% more time spent. And what does that mean to you? It means earned media. The CPM premium is minimal, and an opportunity to engage with deep content within your ad is frankly unparalleled. We're also trying to do some really innovative things with other parts of Sony within our ad units. We're leveraging the power of the studio, whether that's the Smurfs, James Bond, Hotel Transylvania, Spider-Man, the list goes on and on. We have the opportunity to do themed watch lists. We have the opportunity to do custom commercials and vignettes, and then use those interactive ad units to bring new content to the viewer. The coolest part of this is instead of giving 300 plus GRPs to partner with a great movie like RoboCop or something similar, we can work with you on EPK access, the electronic press kit, to share that inventory with you so that you can do innovative things, whether it be on product, in retail, or within your creative elements. And then, of course, Crackle sponsorships. Here we worked with Jack in the Box, who's really a regional player but chose to go national with Crackle, and we partnered on something called True Bromance. Jack in the Box is about the experience of going to the store and having burgers and food with your bros. What greater way than combine that with classic guy movies like Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and my personal favorite, Booty Call. We have fun with what we do. We look for clients that are looking to have cool engagement, off-the-cuff, fun opportunities. This is just an easy, off-the-shelf opportunity to do something like that. Our bread and butter, however, is going to come within Crackle Originals. Again, Sony is all about wowing consumers with fantastic content. Whether it's an amazing concert that Jay-Z or Justin Timberlake put on, or whether it's the classic episodes of Seinfeld, or new hits like Breaking Bad, that's in Sony's DNA. And eventually the goal is for Crackle Originals to be that distribution point for the best and greatest that's coming out of the Sony studios in Culver City. We're already starting, and we've made a tremendous start. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, which has been our anchor program, has already been nominated for an Emmy Award. Milo Ventimiglia, who's our star and one of our originals chosen, has already won Best Actor awards for a streaming video, long-form video content. Playing It Forward has been recognized as being an innovative way of bringing charity back to local high schools for music and the arts. Let's go a little bit deeper on each one. It's worth knowing that before we do that, where Crackle stands in this landscape of media in terms of how we're doing original content. Look at us against our video competitors. Crackle in 14 and 15 plans to have over 128 hours of original content. I truly believe that that's an under-promise, over-deliver scenario. We're looking at more than that. Hulu, 33 hours. Netflix, 86 hours. Then you go to the traditional cable networks where 18% of their overall content might be original programming with AMC. It goes down with TBS and FX. Crackle, 1 year into business, is already at 8.5% of our total content being original programming. We're well on our way to being in the same exact conversation with anybody in the marketplace in terms of putting fantastic premium content out there. That's the goal, and we're looking for partners today. All right, so Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee, the award winner. This is simple. It's Jerry getting out his best friends in the business, the biggest comedians in the world, whether it be Sarah Silverman, David Letterman, Jay Leno, Don Rickles, it goes on and on, Tina Fey, it goes on, and he puts them in a car, and you've got 22 minutes of just pure laughter and conversation. It's the best talk show on television, video, and we look forward to you engaging with it. If you haven't checked it out already, please do. Over 40 million streams already. You're late to that party. Not to be outdone, Chosen is a tremendous show. Think in the world of like a Fox 24 type thriller. You're on the edge of your seat most of that program, and you can't wait for that next episode to start. Here's the scenario. You're sitting in your doorstep one day in your house having a normal day with your wife and your kid. A box shows up on your doorstep. Doorbell rings, you go down, you see this box, it's got your name on it, you open it, it's got a clock, a picture, and a gun. You've got 48 hours to kill an everyday average person, otherwise your family is in jeopardy. Now this sounds like it might be a little bit raw, but this is standard broadcast television type scenes. It's not ultra violent, it's probably PG-13, but it's anything that could fit on a broadcast network. Let me tell you, you're on the edge of your seat. You're going to watch this. I hope that you go check out Crackle and watch season 1 and 2 of Chosen. It's really good. Great cast, Milo Ventimiglia, Brandon Routh, Chad Michael Murray is kind of the new star rolling in for next season, and then Rose McGowan is coming in for season 3. Great stuff. Next, we've got Cleaners. So I compare this to an early Quentin Tarantino type show. It's got some creative filmography, a great cast. Emmanuel Shariki, who you might remember from Sloane, from Entourage. Emily Osment, who's getting her first break out of Disney. Her last show is, believe it or not, Hannah Montana. She plays a trained assassin in this program. David Arquette's our FBI hero. Gina Gershon is the evil boss. We're all talking about two action-packed women, kind of a Thelma and Louise. They were bad, gone good, out to rescue this child who's been kidnapped. It's fun, it's funny, it's action-packed. Definitely check it out. I referenced Playing It Forward earlier. This is a Robert Downey Jr. project. Long story short, he's passionate about music, he's passionate about education. He wanted to bring those two together by doing impromptu street concerts all over the United States. Our pilot episode was presented by FedEx, a great partner for us. We filmed it out in LA, and John Legend was our celebrity guest. Out of nowhere, 30 minutes before the show, we do a social outreach telling everybody to be at a specific location, and John Legend does an impromptu acoustic set right there in the middle of LA. The first pilot episode was a huge success. We've got some partners lined up for 2014. We expected this to be a program that lives on for a long time. We're comparing it to some sort of movement. We think that people are going to start anticipating, when might this come to Chicago? When might Adam Levine show up in the streets of Dallas, Texas for an impromptu concert? We're all very excited about this. Sequestered, from the writers of Law & Order. This is the first that I've heard about behind-the-scenes look at what happens when a jury is sequestered. Big corporate crime, lots of politics. This is kind of an old-fashioned, high-drama, CBS-type thriller. We're really excited about where this goes. We've seen some early scripts. Long story short, the drama that happens when 12 members of everyday society get locked into a hotel. They can't see the outside world, and a major court decision rests on what they ultimately decide. What politics, what bribes, what things happen, what relationships get skewed out of that 12 days of intense, 12 members who spend intense amount of time with one another. We think this is going to be really exciting, and expect a big cast for this. Last but certainly not least, Crackle Live. We could not be more thrilled to announce that it's coming this fall. We're going to start doing 6 live concerts a quarter. We're going a little bit after Vivo here, where we're going to do 2 concerts from mainstream, big-time A-list celebrities, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, these types of celebrities, and then we're going to do 4 up-and-coming. Again, 6 concerts a quarter. We'll be streaming them live, and then they'll live in a library of concert content. Imagine a year down the road where that band that you thought you never heard of a year before, we captured them then. You can see one of their initial concerts on Crackle. We think that this is going to be a big engager for music fans and an awesome opportunity for advertisers to engage in both live and really good, high-quality original content. And I know I went fast, and I certainly don't mean to do so, but if you know me, you know that I'd rather ask you a lot of questions. You provide me with information on what your brand initiatives might be so I could see amongst this plethora of information and now PlayStation adding to the mix, what can I do to bring marketing solutions to you? I wanted to leave with just this image. We've been in business for a year. We've gotten over 100 blue chip advertisers to partner with us. We stand alone in media. Our media alone and the metrics that you can grasp with us are top-notch in industry setting. By spending with us, we unlock all sorts of other really unique industry setting added value. We look forward to your questions, we look forward to your challenges, and we certainly hope that you'll partner with us in 2014. Thank you for your time.